Hey, what's up guys? This is Double X and I am going to be casting a 1 versus 1. It is going to be an epic versus 1 versus 1. I'll tell you, it's going to be between LiquidTyler, the red Protoss spawning in the bottom right spawn location, and his opponent is going to be the Zerg, the blue Zerg, vileSpanshwa. Yes, it is pronounced Spanishiwa, even though his name spells Spanshwa. So no angry comments about that or anything like that. But anyways, we're going to have a Protoss versus Zerg on Shakuras Plateau with a cross spawn, and this just makes me real happy and warm inside, because I know this is going to be epic, because LiquidTyler, formerly known as NonY and still referred to as NonY in many casts and events and other stuff, a really accomplished former Brood War StarCraft player. And now we switch to the StarCraft 2 scene, and really successful. He's 50th, ranked 50th in the Grandmasters League on the American server, and while Spanishiwa not far behind at all, considering he's been climbing his way to the top on the ladder so darn fast. He's come up with a new build where he fast expands and basically gets no gas until it's like 44 supply or something, and the only thing he gets for defense is spine crawlers and queens. And maybe some links, but not often will you see Spanishiwa get links in our game. But this time he's not going to go for that build, since he's going for spawning pool first. And that is I'm really curious to why, because on a big map like that, it is very safe to fast expand. So, but he's going to go really safe and go for spawning pool first. And Tyler, on the other hand, is going to go for a 2-gate opening at his front ramp here, going to grab an expansion most certainly in a while. And oh, I remember I forgot to say this, but Spanishiwa not far behind Tyler on the ranking. He's ranked 80th on the American Grandmasters League, so just 30 places behind. And being ranked even in the Grandmasters League on any server is so hard to accomplish. So kudos to those two players. And now he's going to grab his first gas, and also going to put down a Roach Warren. So this is going to be a Roach build, and he still hasn't got his expansion up running, so I'm really curious to why he's done that. Because he's floating about 550 minerals and on, but he's doing a nice job blocking the expansion here with his drone. He was just picked off by the Zealot, and now the probe is going to put down his Nexus as soon as he got his minerals up there again. I believe he had his Nexus going to build, but then the drone prevented it, and then he had to use all his minerals to keep his macro going. So those are the things that Spanishiwa does all the time, like preventing expansion going up. And I've even seen him blocking the cybernetics core when the Protoss do their usual wall-ins at the ramp, and then the Protoss player had to put his cybernetics core back here somewhere, because he didn't want to get it too late. So those kind of things help you out through the entire game. This just puts you a little bit ahead, or even with your opponent, and you just mess with their head and put them off their game. So that's always nice. But Tyler is going to go uber safe here with 3 cannons at his front door, only powered by a single pylon, but still. And he has 2 gateways here and a bunch of cells just blocking, so these roaches and zerglings will have a hard time getting in here. But the roaches can actually start shooting at this gateway because of this overlord, so real sneaky here by Spanishiwa. And Tyler doesn't have any ranged units whatsoever, because he hasn't got his cybernetics core up yet. There he goes. He got the forge up first, so he could secure his expansion much earlier. But this gateway is going to go down, so that is definitely not good for Tyler at all. Now he's only running off 1 gate. We need to put down some more gateways here, maybe here or even here, because going 1 gate against a double base Zerg is not a very comfortable position. Although they are cross-spawned, so the rally distance is going to be really long for SpanishWa, so Tyler could hold this up thanks to all these cannon and the pylon powering on the high ground. So, and this scouting overlord is going to be picked off. I'm really curious to why SpanishWa flew it over here when he knew that it's probably going to have range unit out soon. I would have flown my overlord back here and maybe in here, because sacrificial overlords around the 7 to 8 or 6 minute mark is very common, and flying it directly over your opponent's natural weather is basically nothing to scout except for the gas and maybe how well he's saturating it up. That is a lost overlord for nothing, but we can see a double Stargate going up for Tyler. I missed it because I didn't have my production tab up, but he's going to go for Phoenix right away, and this is one of LiquidTyler's trademarks. He was back in the day on StarCraft 2 beta or something like that, in the early StarCraft 2 days. Anyways, he was the one who invented the mass Phoenix play, so going to go for an old build that he knows in and out, and maybe put some pressure on the Zerg player because he doesn't have any much anti-air up. He's just now starting his layer, so only queens to protect him but for now, but he is so great. He has this worked in every one of his builds because of those upgrades he mixed in all of his build. He has spore crawlers at his bases, and even though you haven't worked this in your build, almost every Zerg player will get this if they haven't scouted the Protoss for a very long time and all they've seen is sellouts and cannons. You can almost expect a double Stargate or something of that kind. And meanwhile, he's going to hide his Phoenixes back over here, and also going to start a robotics. I wonder where that is. It's just over here, so it's a smart location. It's easy to scout. That is a downside, but he can reinforce so much quicker than if he put his robotics back here or something. And what is this program to do? He's going to put up a pylon, and here comes the squadron of 5 Phoenix, no, the fleet rather, and Spanish was just now begin to put up his spire, but they just above this spore crawler here, so going to pick up the queen to kill it, but he is not going to lose a Phoenix, but taking a lot of damage. You can see it there in the orange and in the yellow, and on this stage Spanishiwa will have to do something to counter the Protoss, because he can't defend with his roaches nor his Zerglings, and knowing that the Protoss has this many Phoenixes, you will know that he barely has no ground army, although he has those cannon to support him, and just now starting an observer to scout, and he also supply caps Spanishiwa, so that is really good. Flying over to Spanishiwa's third and picking up a lot of drones. Those Phoenixes have so much energy for the graviton beam, and it only costs 50 energy. So each Phoenix, when they're maxed out, can do the graviton beam 4 times each. But still, they can't attack this this hatchery, and it's going to put up 2 spore crawlers. That is a wise choice. And ooh, getting an overseer picked off. That is not something you would want to get going, because overseers are really expensive, and now leaving his Zerglings out here and not looking at the minimap at all, and going to be hacked away almost half of them by the sellouts. Oh, and whoops, and just now starting it up his third, so he's going to have a base lead, but that's pretty standard as a Zerg. You always want to be at least 1 base behind, no, ahead of your opponent. But look at this, Tyler's going to expand up here. He's so far played a great game. He's done a lot of job with his Phoenix. He's keeping up with his ground armies, just being on top of everything. But now we can see that Spanishiwa is going to produce 6 Corruptors. I saw them on the production tab to counter those Phoenix. And then he has a superior ground army with all those roaches. I think, let's take a look at units tab. Well, he only has 4 roaches, so not a superior ground army. Considered Tyler has 9 Zealots and 4 Stalkers, and also a Colossus. So, but those Corruptors is going to be good against anything. Spanishiwa will just have to keep it up with his macro. That supply block before, just throw him off that. But he's getting him back there and taking a 4th expansion. That is a really wise choice. And with all those Phoenix, you really have to keep your overlords closer to your base, unless they will be picked off and you will be supply blocked. Like now, this overlord gets picked up and he's supply blocked. Take a look at the production tab and he's forced to produce 5 overlords at once. Wow. And trying to counter to LiquidTyler's third base, but no luck there since there's so many cells. But look at all those stray probes he can pick up with his feelings, and this Colossus is not going to do much since it's put on hold position. But all those Zerglings did a great job killing off a bunch of probes. And now we can see that he's going to morph his lair into a hive, doing this at natural because in the late game this base is so vulnerable to drops or air units or anything like that. So this expansion is much more safer because this is your way in and out of your bases anyway. So this is where you're going to keep all your units. So this is where he wants to keep his hive tech, but it's already at hive tech at 15.5 minutes into the game. So working that fast hive into every one of his build, and there comes the +3 for the ground units, allowing for good use of ultras if this go to the super late game. But it's just now going to upgrade his spire to a greater spire, so going to morph those corruptors into brooders. Wow, look at how many corruptors they are. They can just one-shot those they can basically one-shot those Colossus if they are put to shoot the Colossus. You have to target fire the Colossus, not stay on top here and just get shot away by those stalkers. Wow, that is so careless by Spanishiwa. Just threw away like 19, no, not 19, but 16 or 15 or so corruptors just for a fleet of Phoenix that weren't very useful this late in the game anyways. And look at this huge army from Tyler. He's at 157 supply. Take a look at the income tab. We can see that our Zerg player is at a distinct drone lead, so a lot of he's like 50 supply behind in the army, and all those units are good against the Zerg units. So I don't see how Spanishiwa can hold this off. He basically threw away too many units there and maybe take too fast without doing any economic damage to the Protoss. So great game by Tyler here. I most likely think is going to win this if Spanishiwa doesn't pull a miracle out of his back pocket. But now this Broodlord Tycoon is not going to finish because he's going to be shot away by all those Blinkstalkers. Now the Zealots is running in, and those Colossus can just shoot away and do splash damage non-stop. And take a look at the units tab. Spanishiwa basically has nothing to stop this, and he is going to GG, and always says GG sir. Wow, what a polite little Zerg master. Well, I'm surprised to see him lose because I've only seen Spanishiwa games where he wins, but it's nice to know that he actually is human after all. So, but you gotta hand it to Tyler for just tearing him apart and taking no economic damage whatsoever, expanding like a god, and having a great build work out, and mixing in 2 builds basically with his Phoenix and his and the late game Colossus, which is pretty standard nowadays for the Protoss. But good game, Tyler. I will be signing out and casting some more later. See you guys then.